Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you how the client sync works between Logit and QBOA. So to enable the client sync, you first have to go into the cogwheel at the firm dashboard level and then go into settings. There's a tab here on the left hand side that's called import, so you click on that. And then the first time you do this, there will be an option here to connect to QuickBooks. In this example, I'm going to fast forward and I'm not going to show the steps because it's relatively simple, but you'd click on the QuickBooks logo and then you'd go ahead and set that up and sync it with Logit. Just make sure you tick this box to automatically synchronize clients between Logit and QBOA. Now, if I go to create a client, so I'm going to go back to the dashboard level and I'm going to create a new client in Logit. It's always recommended that you create the client in Logit first. And the reason for that is it's because it's a one-way sync from Logit to QBOA. So it's always the recommended way when setting up new clients. So I'm going to set up a new client called A4 Cars Pty Ltd. Set up an email address. And then I'm going to click Sync Client Details with Accounting System. And obviously add a signatory because it is a company, Tom Biscuit. And I'm going to save that. Now, as soon as you do this, you can see it's created a client, A4 Cars Pty Ltd. And if I go back into QBOA, and I'm just going to refresh this. You can see that this client placeholder has actually been created in here. And obviously now you can, in QuickBooks, enable client billing. So then if you were to go and create an invoice as an example. So I'm going to type in A4 Cars. I can see that right here. And let's just say it's for a company tax return and then save. So that invoice is saved. So now we've created an invoice at that client level. So the sync is one way. If you make any changes in Logit, so if I go back into A4 Cars, and let's say as an example, I might put an address in here. But I'll add an extra 5 there and save. If I go back into QuickBooks, that will actually automatically update. So in this case, I'm going to go to Edit Client just to see the information. And in here, I can see that address has been pulled through straight away. Okay, so that's how the one-way integration works. So it's really quick, nice and easy. But obviously one issue that accounting firms might come across is the fact that they'll actually create the client in QuickBooks first. And then obviously they might already have that client in their tax client list. So you would end up with a duplicate. So in this case, I'll just simulate that. I'll put in a new client, just in this example. That's a new QBO client. We're effectively talking about the same client here, but I just want to show you how duplicates are treated. So I'm going to set them up on plus and save. So now that I've created this client, you can see now that there's A4 Cars and there's actually a QBO file attached. The QBOA doesn't actually allow you to have the same client name, so you can see I've used two different names. And sometimes that's obviously quite common because you might have a business name and a legal trading entity name. Now, so in this situation here, what would happen is the client that I've just created for QBO, so A4 Cars, this doesn't actually sync back into Logit. So that's why we can see two placeholders here now. So obviously I've created the invoice at the Logit on the Logit card level at A4 Cars, but now we have a QBO file. So in this kind of scenario, I'm going to show how we can effectively merge these clients together. So if you go to the settings cogwheel up on the top right hand side, there is a merge duplicate clients. And then in here, you have the ability to merge the two placeholder cards together. So I can see here A4 Cars, and then I can see here A4 Cars Pty Ltd. Just keep in mind if you do it the other way around, so if you use the Logit card level, it won't actually show you the QBO file. So the way this tool is actually designed is that your target client is the actual QBO subscription and the matched client is what you're matching it to. So that's the duplicate record. Now the cool thing about this feature is it actually moves across and merges your invoices. So if you do have invoices, payments, other transactions, they'll actually be merged into the one account. And that's obviously because for client billing purposes, the firm would be tracking that at a QBOA level, and that's synced with your client list. So you can see now A4 cars, that duplicate's been gotten rid of, and now it's just the one card. Now this is all well and good, and if you kind of go along doing the work, everything will work nice and smoothly. But if you actually make any updates now in Logit, the sync's actually broken. So what you actually have to do is you have to go into the client sync area. So you click on the settings cogwheel, client sync. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to click the import button, and that will import the latest list from QBO. And then it tries to do a best guess. So in this case, it's not A1, it's A4 cars. And this is where it links the QBO subscription back to the Logit client. Okay. Once you're happy with that, you can accept. So I'll do that again. Once you're happy with that, you can accept. And then obviously these clients will be linked together.